You're listening to Scheduling Sin with me, Snomilf.
Go up to your partner and just call him a whore and see how it goes. Tell him Mr. Snow sent you.
You don't start with "make me your cum slut." That's the quote of the day.
There's the quote of the day. Well, hello, Mrs. Snow.
Hey there, Mr. Snow.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And how are you on this lovely day?
I'm good.
Yeah.
We had a little while to record before I have to go back to work for a few days.
Yeah. So I thought, well, it's funny as we were sitting here and we have like 2 hours before you have to leave. And I'm like, well, we could eat lunch, we could have sex, or we can record. And here we are recording. So you're welcome, Snow fans.
Well, I think
I'm not getting laid.
Oh, no. I think it's going to be a 2 out of 3 kind of day.
Oh, all
and right. I think we're both going to be a little hungry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we're going to have lunch. Damn it.
Right. So fucking lame. Well, we wanted to start this episode off with a couple housekeeping items right at the top. So we have had for a long time a Discord server.
Yeah.
And the Discord server has kind of gone up and down in its existence. But lately,
it's been pretty hopping.
It's been hopping and it's been good.
And it's been really good. It's been really good because there've been a lot of new people that have shown up, but also a lot of really good discussions and just conversations going on, which I think has been really helpful for people.
Yeah, we often get people that join, but lately we've had the benefit of people joining and actually jumping into the conversation, which is important to do because when you join, you are assigned the role of newbie, and you are limited a little bit in what you can get to. And then once you kind of jump into the conversation, we switch you over to active, and then you can access more of the server. So
including the naughty pictures. So even if, you need to join, you need to talk, and then you can see my titties.
And then you can see some titties.
You're welcome.
And I got to tell you that those days work out really good. But we've had some great conversations in there. We've had a number of folks talking about some of their lifestyle experiences, some of the things that they're struggling with, and getting great advice from other people in the group.
Also, we've had a couple newbies.
Yeah.
Kind of like, how do you go about doing this? How do you engage in single males? Or so it's been really good for that too.
It's been a good conversation lately about single males. And it seems like everybody's having the same experience that we are, in that single males are easy to find in a sense.
Yeah.
But good single males are damn near impossible to find.
Well, it's hard to find one that matches what you're looking for, who's respectful, who's responsive,
who actually shows
up. I mean, they do exist, right? But you have to weed through quite a bit.
Yeah. And we've gotten to the point now where we will not make time to do private meets with single males.
Yeah.
If we meet a single male in a group setting or at a party or at a club or something, if we meet them organically and there's a connection there,
right,
I think we'll definitely make time for private meets, but it just isn't working out to try to do private meet stuff with single guys because they're just so unreliable.
Yeah, unfortunately that is the case.
Yeah, but that's been talked about some in the Discord lately. There's been some great conversations about getting started with group play.
Oh yeah.
Some great conversations about toys and flaws, all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of good stuff. And we've got some toy reviews to do.
We do. We have a great new toy from Extreme Restraints. It's not sponsored. It's just one that we wanted to do on our own, but it's a wand saddle. We just got on board with the wand train. We're late to this.
And I tell you what, that wand is effing amazing. And this has kind of been the alternative to a Sibian. Because you keep wanting to buy a Sibian, and I'm hesitant. Not that I didn't enjoy my time on it, but I just feel like it's a big investment for something that I just don't know if we're going to be able to use, and there's just a lot of pieces to it, right? So Mr. Snow and his effort. He's so committed.
I'm committed to your pleasure.
Yeah. He's persistent.
Are welcome.
Yeah, no, he's a persistent little shit. And so he found this wand saddle, which I have to say, and I sometimes
Mr. Snow for the win.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to give in and recognize that it's good stuff.
Basically, so this is the history of our sexual journey. Everything that you have given into has made you come. I mean, it's true.
It's true.
It's totally true.
I know.
So that's coming up. That we're going to do that we're going to do an official toy review.
Yeah.
It'll probably be out on X. We actually have a YouTube channel that we don't really use, so we'll probably put it there.
The things that the talent does not know.
Yeah. So we'll probably put it there and on our X, but keep an eye out for that. But that is it's an Extreme Restraints product.
And it's very, 2 thumbs up. 4 stars.
Yeah. It got,
highly recommend.
It got a quick ride last night.
It did. And you enjoyed a lot of the pieces of it.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the rubbing on me while I was hopping up and down on that thing.
Absolutely.
It was nice.
So keep an eye on Discord. The other thing, too, quick other housekeeping, and of course, SnoBall is coming up September 27th.
SnoBall, it's so exciting. It's coming so quick.
Tickets are on sale, and they are starting to go.
They are. It's exciting.
Yeah, so we're excited to see the guest list building up. If you are coming, one thing to note, if you're interested in coming, you can reach out to us via email, snomilf@yahoo.com, or
the website.
You can check us out on schedulingsin.com, or we're also on SLS, we're on SDC.com, and we're on Swingers Zone Central. We've got groups on all of those websites.
Yeah.
And the events are posted on all those websites. One thing you could do that would really help us out, if you are coming to SnoBall, or if you're even interested, find the event page on the site that you use, SLS, SDC, whatever it is, and click the button that you are going.
Yeah.
Jump on the guest list. It does help people to get a sense that people actually are coming to this, because sometimes when those guest lists are like at 0 or close to it, people think, well, there's really nothing going on here, and they don't act on it. So if you could help us out, if you're interested, or if you are coming, click on the button that says you are. Let everybody know. We do have a Telegram group
I was
associated.
Like, get involved with like our Discord or our Telegram group. That way you can kind of start chatting to all the lovelies that are coming.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, that the guest list lists on those various sites, SLS, SDC, all that, are not the official guest lists, and they're not at all up to date. So help us out with that. Reach out to us. But we'd love to see you at SnoBall coming up.
We're excited.
So we have a new single male approach, and this kind of dovetails into the topic of the day.
A new single male approach, meaning we have been approached by a single male.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's the request.
The things that I learn on live on our podcast.
It's more fun that way. We had a request from, and I just want to get your take on this. A single male wants to come, at a hotel or come to our house or whatever, just meet up.
Yeah.
Right. And he is interested in humiliation play.
Okay.
And I have to laugh a little bit. So here's the thing. I should preface this by saying that all legal kinks are welcome here at Scheduling
Absolutely.
Sin. Okay.
I mean, we don't want to kink shame, but,
no,
but we are going to talk about some of them.
I do not promise not to giggle. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, but
sometimes the things that people do, I mean, sometimes they're just bizarre.
Well, a little. That's kind of what makes them fun, right? So we're not knocking it, but we are going to laugh a little. So here's what he wants. He is specifically interested in SPH, which I had to look up. I don't have to look things up very often.
SPH.
Yeah, SPH, Sierra Papa Hotel. What it stands for is small penis humiliation.
Okay.
Also interested in insertion and humiliation. And what he asked for...
I have so many questions.
Oh, I know. That's why we're talking about it. So what he asked for is, could we have a session where we meet up and we remain clothed the whole time?
Okay.
And he gets naked on his own or at our instruction or whatever, and we degrade and humiliate him while he masturbates.
Okay. So questions. So many questions. First of all, I don't think with a straight face I could just degrade somebody.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I could do that. I'm not a mean person.
Well, here's the thing. I understand what you mean by that, but consider that this is kink play.
I guess I need to know what he means by degrade.
You know exactly what he wants.
Well, I mean,
what he wants.
Well, there's a line, right?
Okay, what he
wants
is he wants you to tell him how small his dick is, He could never satisfy you or any other woman.
Okay.
He's worthless, blah, 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 blah,
See,
blah.
that's...
Like, and we're talking about like serious, like heavy degradation.
Yeah.
And I understand your comment that I'm not a mean person, but it's not mean if he wants it.
Well, no, I understand. But right. But with that all being said, what I would start with and what he wants to hear, there's a line. There's always a line.
Yeah.
That you can go too far.
I think if you ask that right up front, like what boundaries do you have?
Right.
I think I'm just going to go off of some of the things this gentleman told me. I would say there are probably not very many boundaries.
Wow.
I think he's probably pretty okay with anything you might say.
So something like, your dick is just so worthless. It would never fucking satisfy me. What a little bitch you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Who all right, I need the show of hands. Who all got hard?
Everybody. So,
well, I guess I don't.
And he's also like interested in insertion play, right? So like, toys and things like that. Like basically
on him.
Yeah. What this comes down to is what it really is at its core. It's exhibition play.
I mean, I think, when you explore kinks and you explore these kinds of things, it's about pushing the boundaries.
Uh-huh.
And it's about pushing you to a point where you are uncomfortable.
Right.
But that is always, when you start exploring with these things, it's a slippery slope.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think it's exciting in some ways because you and I have kind of played with some of this, that we're pushing boundaries that someone without having some context would maybe be pretty horrified or like, what are you saying? Or very just kind of taken aback by it. But in the context in which we're doing it, it can be very hot to kind of push those boundaries or say certain things that are kind of nasty or risque or just whatever. But I'm not, it's so funny. I think if we had this conversation even 6 months ago, I would have probably had a very different opinion about it.
Yeah, I get that.
I understand I understand that pushing of boundaries and pushing of limits and saying things that otherwise are kind of rude or mean or nasty. I can appreciate how that would turn people on.
Absolutely. And it's an interesting style of playing.
Yeah.
I think in a way it's a little bit more of an advanced style of play because most people, when they consider sexual situations, they're looking at a situation where both partners are going to attempt to have an orgasm, right?
Right.
You're going to do things with and to each other in an effort to pleasure each other and an effort to, come, right? But in these types of situations, and what this guy is specifically asking for,
mm-hmm.
It's a situation where we do not engage sexually,
mm-hmm.
at least with him, and that he wants to be the center of attention.
Right.
And that's all he's looking for.
Well, it's almost a long game.
It absolutely is a long game.
And it's that mental play.
It's absolutely mental play. So it's a situation where you would come into the whole, like you might come in and out of this session.
He wants both of us to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would.
Not just me. Not just
well,
you.
I think he would be open to any combination, frankly.
Yeah.
But I think having, in his case, we didn't have a long conversation about this, but I think having a female involved is more interesting to him than having just a guy.
And I can absolutely understand from that perspective. And some of the things that you and I have done, or some of the things that I have said, or you have asked me to say or kind of play with, is not about me, but turns me on because it turns you on.
Right.
Like the idea of watching something I say or do, getting someone so worked up is hot.
Right.
It's hot for me for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I could totally, so part of me is kind of intrigued because it's so hot. It's a power thing.
It absolutely is.
It's a power control thing.
Right.
Like I will do what you want me to do, but that's very empowering and turning on for me.
Sure.
Because it's controlling how turned on you are.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of hot.
And even though it's interesting, it's kind of a mind fuck in a way, because even though, like, let's say you were to take this person up on this idea and we did exactly what he described, right?
Yeah.
So he's naked, masturbating.
To completion?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you're going to stop him once you get going. But you're going to say things, you would describe as terrible things to him.
Yeah.
You are worthless. You have a small dick. You can't please anybody, like on and on and on. But you're doing it for him.
Absolutely.
Like
and then you feel like you've won a prize when he comes.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's an incredibly satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
Like something I said got you so worked up that you came. Like that's hot. Like I totally could get into that.
Yeah. So you have a person here who is really genuinely asking for a complex situation where they want to be really vulnerable.
Yes.
They want to be really exposed.
Yeah.
And, I think it's easy to get a message like that and be like, ew, gross. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if you really kind of stop and think about what this person is asking for, it's really quite vulnerable.
It's a big ask in a lot of ways.
It is. It's a big ask in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of people wouldn't even contemplate it.
Well, but wouldn't recognize the ask that it is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recognize that it's not about just this guy that likes to talk dirty. It's about a guy who wants to be put in a situation to make him feel that vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have to be even with that, you have to be very responsible and understanding of what that is.
Yeah.
And providing that safe place.
Right. I have been on the giving side of this situation.
Yeah.
And it is wild. I mean, it's the only way I can think to describe it. It is wild to hear yourself saying some of these things to another person.
But also, I think watching the other person respond.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is specifically for you, right? For you as the person, in this case, the woman who is sort of degrading this guy. It's amazing. I feel like it's just as interesting as being the guy, because
the person that's being degraded.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
you, in a completely different way, are putting yourself into a situation that you're never in.
Yes. I mean, you're playing with roles, you're playing with boundaries, you're playing with control, all of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going down a road that you don't ever go down, that is outside of your ordinary personality.
Absolutely. It's 100% outside of my character.
And
yes.
it is,
yes.
It's fun.
Well, it just talk about mindfuckery. It's really incredible.
It's fun to be somebody you're not for a little while.
Absolutely. And play into that fantasy and that role, and playing with vulnerability, because it's vulnerable for me. It would be vulnerable for me.
Yeah.
To say very degrading things to somebody.
Absolutely.
Because that's
just not like your personality. You would ordinarily never do that.
Right. And so there's some vulnerability on that side as well.
Absolutely. There is. So this is why this kind of play is interesting to me, because I have reached a point with sex that just the act of sex by itself, maybe I'm desensitized to it. I don't know.
I don't know if it's that you're desensitized to it. I think it's, you just know it can be so much more intense with mind play.
Well, that's definitely a big part of it. Watching people have sex does not have anywhere near the same impact on me that it did at one time.
Sure.
I can remember the first time we ever walked through a club, at 1 a.m, and it was like Caligula. There's people having sex everywhere. I think if you go back to our first episode or two where we talked about going to the club, we talked about that specific thing. And it was just so mind-blowing that all these people are just having sex. And it's like, oh my, everywhere I look, we've been doing this for a little while. And at this point, I don't notice it anywhere near as much as I used to.
We're down a path. Yeah. I think sometimes some of the conversations and things that we see and just experience are just another thing. And sometimes we have to recognize how far down that path we are. I would not say that, generally speaking, I agree with you. Just seeing people have sex is not. But if it's someone that I know or someone that I have somewhat of a connection with or relationship with, or it's part of kind of the group that we tend to play with or whatever, I think I would still be very much turned on by it.
I'm not saying I don't like seeing it. I'm not saying it's not fun for me to watch, but I am saying it is.
Well, it's easier to compartmentalize.
It's
probably
way easier for me to. I could easily sit on the couch and have a casual conversation with somebody about literally any topic.
Yeah.
While people are having sex on the bed. It just has gotten so ordinary.
Unless it's me having sex on
That's
the bed.
Totally different. I can't focus on anything when you're having sex.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I'm going with this is the mental side of sex is becoming so much more interesting to me.
Well, there's so much more to it.
There is so much more to it. And when I get to like this kind of play that we're talking about here now, I am open to these types of scenarios because I just want to feel stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely that just emotional intensity.
Yeah.
It's you talk about sex being an emotional connection and all that stuff. And I think it very much can be, but this is like a whole new level of power play and intensity. Like, again, the biggest sex organ you have is your brain.
I have reached a point in sex where not only do I not really care if I have an orgasm, I don't really care if I come, and I don't really care if I actually do anything sexually. Like, I don't really care that much about it.
What's this long foreplay game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I can't tell you how many times that you and I might have been in situations where there's been a lot of sex going on around us, or we're engaged in just flirtation play or whatever. And then you and I may go home independently and just blow each other's mind.
Absolutely.
But it's because we've been building up to that.
You know,
like I could totally see if we were to engage with this guy and we were to be completely clothed and we were to degrade him or whatever, and he were to come, I could totally see you and I just fucking going at it.
Absolutely.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think
because you watching me have that power trip while I'm degrading him, I think would just be,
I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
I would love to
So we have to
watch
do this
that.
at a hotel, let him leave, and then we'll just desecrate the hotel.
Desecrate the room. Yeah. No, I mean, I seriously am on board with the idea. When I watch you playing, I've told you this before, and I think I've said it on the show, my favorite part is the beginning. Mm-hmm. Watching you like flirt with someone and kind of tease and touch them, and they're kind of touching you and you're kissing a little bit, like that portion of the whole session is hotter for me than actually watching you have sex, which is still very hot.
Yeah.
But the beginning of it is the hottest part to me because I love to watch that spark. I love to watch that interaction. I love to watch you be flirty and sexual. And then watching you get to have great sex is like icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But it is that mental piece. And so this kind of dovetails into the next question we had. So,
well, let me pause you for a second. So with kind of finishing up the conversation related to humiliation play, which does kind of fall into the next category, I guess, but it's this whole, it's all about communication. It's all about consent. It's all about what is it that you want me to say or not say.
Right.
And I think that's a hard conversation to have, but I think if you kind of engage in this, then hopefully you're able to have these conversations. But obviously this is something he likes and he's done and he's comfortable with to most all degree.
I don't know how much experience the guy might have with it, but he's specifically asking for it.
But I think I would have those conversations before you engage, like with your clothes on, right? Like you have the conversation of, okay, if this is what you want, these are the types of things that I would say. Is that what you're looking for? Yes or no? Can it get dirtier? Do you want it to stop there? Like those conversations I think are really important.
So let me ask you this, okay? Would you be interested in doing it? I mean, not necessarily with this specific person, but like just generically with this request, like, would you be interested in having this experience?
I think I would. I think I would want to know the person outside of that context first.
Why?
I don't know, to really know what they're looking for. Like if the person was pretty understanding and this is not their first rodeo, like I don't know if I want to be the first one to do this. I don't think you would be in that to do that the first time I meet them. Like if this person has done this multiple times and then they want to do it, that's different. But if they've never done it, I think I'd want to meet them with our clothes on. Not in that context, to really know, because the last thing I would ever want to do is hurt somebody.
Right.
Like that is not the goal of any of this.
No.
And if this is the first time you're doing this, I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I would like to build a little bit more of a relationship and trust before we do it. But if you are an experienced person and this is something that you enjoy and you've done multiple times, then I'm a little bit more involved. Like I'm more on board with, all right, we'll just do it.
That brings up a really, really interesting point. I personally do not want to engage in kink with anyone who's never done it.
Right. Right. No, I understand that.
And I say that I will admit it's kind of a selfish position on my part.
I think it's a safe position.
Well, but it isn't. Everybody has a first time, right? So somebody has to do it with them the first time. I'll be honest. I just don't really want to do it because I would much rather play with people who know what they want, who know what their boundaries are.
Sure.
And unless it's someone like you say, unless it's someone we know and are familiar with and are friends with, then I'm open to kind of helping people explore themselves.
Yes.
But on a one-off basis, I really don't want to do it because it can go so many different ways. And I don't necessarily want to deal with all that.
Yeah. No, I get it.
With a one-off situation. But if it were a friend of ours or someone we knew, I would be very open to helping someone explore something like that.
And I think another big piece of all this type of play, and I know we've talked about it before, but I think to revisit it, the whole concept of aftercare.
Oh, yeah.
The whole concept of reconnecting in a safe environment or in a much less intense environment and allowing that person to come down.
Sure.
Because it can be very intense for both people. So to purposely allow yourself that space to just come down and kind of breathe and just...
And for you too, actually.
I mean,
this person, what I can tell you based on the request, clearly is experienced in doing this.
Yeah.
Because the way they asked for it was not how a newbie would ask for it.
Right.
This person's done this before. And honestly, that makes it, I'm more comfortable with that, frankly. If you know what you want and you know what you're looking for, then it's much easier on me.
Yeah.
Because we can come into the situation, we're all going to know what's going on. We can have our fun and then be done. So I have a question for you. So you said your answer to this whole situation is different today than you think it would have been like 6 months ago. What's different today than it was then?
So, we talk about the evolution of our journey. And I tell you what, it's amazing how I feel like I can say that probably throughout this entire podcast and this entire journey that 6 months ago, I wouldn't have done this. And now I would. 6 months ago, I would have done this. So what I mean by that specifically is, especially in regards to play and humiliation or pushing boundaries, you and I have engaged in the last 6 months more so of kind of pushing some of those boundaries and like we with the dirty talk conversation and pushing what we like. And I don't know if I would say maybe I don't know if it's degrading, but playing with some of those words and phrases and I think pushing those boundaries. We've been doing more of that and it's been really exciting to do.
Some of the words that we have been using do fall into the degrading category.
Maybe, yeah.
We use words like whore.
Yeah.
We use words like slut.
Yeah.
And
I could you get excited when you said that. You're like, I use the word slut.
I get to say slut now.
But I think it's, it kind of goes back to this. I like being the concept or the belief, or not the belief, but the thought of being used and kind of going along with that it's been fun to kind of play with that. And it's been fun. It's been fun for you to call me certain things when we're having sex and doing things. It's hot.
Well, what it is,
because it turns you on and it turns me on and it's just really fun.
Yeah. The degrading thing for people that, if you haven't tried the degrading thing or you haven't been around it,
you can't start it cold.
No, what you probably are missing in the, why do people like it? Why do people want to be called what you would ordinarily describe as terrible names?
Yeah.
Insults, one thing and another. And the reason that people like it is because they like playing the character. They like playing the role. They like it for the exact same reason they like being spanked. They like it for the same reason they like being flogged. It's a feeling that you don't ordinarily get to play with.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's a feeling you get to feel in a safe environment that you can come out of at any time.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a costume.
Right.
And you could describe it as bad or mistreating a person or whatever, but it really isn't. It is allowing that person to explore a headspace that they don't ordinarily occupy.
Right. And along with that, we have been much more open to I'm going to use the phrase belly play So you have a belly kink.
I do.
And so what's interesting, and it's so funny because as a female, we don't like our bellies in general, right? We talk about tummy controlled swim tops and we buy Spanx and we buy these things to hide our bodies and hide our tummies. And I think, again, probably more like a year ago, I so self-conscious about my body and I have a belly and that's not something that I ever thought I would lead with and that I would be like, yeah, touch it, because it's just, because we're just so shamed about it.
We have been married for...
we have been married for, it's 14 years.
14 years.
But we have been together and engaged. I mean, we've had a pretty strong relationship for probably every bit of 18.
18 years. And I, true confession time, have had a belly fetish that entire time.
All 18 years.
The
but
whole time.
I never knew about it until probably in the last year and a half. And I never got to a point of being that comfortable to embrace it and encourage it, probably more so in the last 6 to 8 months.
Sure.
Which is insane.
It is. But it is telling. So
Yes.
there were times in our sexual history in that 18 years where I would touch your belly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd touch your tummy. And you always kind of shooed my hand away.
Like, no, don't do that.
And so I knew that you felt that way about it. And I never once told you about it. And I did not touch you there
Mm-hmm.
because I knew, at least at that time, you didn't want that.
Well, I was self-conscious about it, and it was not a turn on for me at all.
Sure. And so it never came up. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how we got, because we went about 18 years of that
Mm-hmm.
to now quite the opposite.
Now I think, what did I do last night? I literally kind of leaned or had my knee standing up on my knees above you, and I kind of basically just shoved my stomach in your face.
Yeah. It was awesome. And we've come a long way.
But now now it's like this empowering feeling.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to with this. So I touch you there now.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about it some. It is like part of our dirty play,
Mm-hmm.
our dirty talk. And as you have said, and I've asked you numerous times, are you okay with this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
And one of the things I've been afraid of is, if in the heat of the moment, if I got excited and I wouldn't want to make it go the other way.
Right.
Right.
You always say something that would hurt my feelings.
It's fun in the moment, but
Sure.
then maybe over time or later, you're kind of like, oh, God, I really don't like how that makes me feel.
Yeah.
And if at any point you reach that point, it would never come up again.
Yeah.
But it is something that has really changed in our life,
Mm-hmm.
changed in our sex life. And it has allowed you, I think, to explore a space that you were never comfortable with.
And it's and that, and it's also, I tell you what, there's just something about all of this. And it's so amazing how it impacts so many layers of your life that have nothing to do with sex, but just embracing and loving my body.
Yeah.
That is, and there are so many people that don't have that.
Right.
I bought a bikini. I have never in 40 plus years of my life ever considered or thought I should be wearing a bikini.
And you look amazing.
And I bought one, and I bought one that fits me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to fit into something that's not.
That's key.
Yeah. And I have never felt just more fucking sexy. And this is my body. This is what it is. I have a belly. I have stretch marks. I am not tiny, and I'm just rocking it.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, this journey and this experience with confidence has been incredible. And I think because of that and engaging with this type of play has just opened up this whole new world. And it's been pretty amazing.
It is. And I can tell you, you've always been stunning in my eyes, but you've never been hotter
Mm-hmm.
than you are now. And it's the confidence. It's any woman any person of any gender, the people who feel good
Mm-hmm.
and confident about themselves, not cocky or arrogant, but they feel good.
They're comfortable in their own skin.
They are they look amazing.
Yeah.
No matter what your body type is, no matter what you wear, whatever, if you feel good in it, you will look good in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so, I wish more people, men and women, could experience that.
Yeah.
And so it's funny how in our case, what you would describe as degrading play, really has been super positive.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's something that a lot of people just don't have a grasp for. But what this kind of play does, if you're interested in kink play, if you're interested in any sort of experience like this, where you have to start is your insecurities.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a scary thing to do. And if you can't just jump into that, and you really have to work your way up to it, and you have to be with the person that understands that and is sensitive to that, and you have to be comfortable in trying new things, but also backing up if you need to, and just taking it at your own pace.
Right. And it is interesting when it comes to playing with your insecurities. What it does is it gives you agency over them.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you control over them.
It gives you some freedom from them.
Right.
Which is exhilarating.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But you have to be willing to just kind of embrace it and own it. And you will be incredibly amazed if you ever give it a try with just how freeing it is, because you're not, like in your case with body issues, right? You're not hiding anything.
No.
You're not worried about positioning yourself in a certain way.
Absolutely not. I walk around naked like all the time now.
You're not
and I
worried
never did
about,
that.
Covering yourself. You're not worried about anything. Because you still have maybe some of those societal concerns, right? We all still do, but you have been given a space where you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And it's
in fact,
amazing.
You're celebrated for exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be, it just doesn't have to be with body things. It can be with anything.
Yeah.
For all we know, this guy who asked us to do all this, small penis humiliation, whatever, he could be the CEO of a company.
Yeah, absolutely.
He could be a guy who makes decisions all day long, who people look to for guidance and one thing and another.
And there's a lot of pressure there.
And he just wants an experience where he can come out and just be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because he never gets to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where, personally, for me, like my sexual journey is going in that direction. I'm becoming more and more interested in mental stimulation than I am physical stimulation.
And it just, when you combine the two, it's just fire.
Fucking fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a follow-on question I would have for you, and one that we have played with just a little bit. What we're talking about here is extremely intimate play. We're talking about you and I have had this long-term bond.
Yeah.
And we feel safe and comfortable with each other to explore these things.
Well, and even in saying that, even with that level of relationship, it still took you 14 years to get involved with, you know what I mean? So,
sure.
So it's not yes and.
but here's, I want to bring it back to swinging and the lifestyle for a minute. You have learned through exploration and stuff that you like, just be blunt about it. Like, you want to say things like, fuck me like a whore.
Yeah.
Or I want to be your whore, or, words like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Use me.
Right.
Use me like a dirty whore.
Could you say that again for the Patreon? Anyway. So here's my question. Is it okay to use language like that in a swinger situation? Like, let's say at a club or at a party or at a group play situation with someone you haven't played with before. Is it okay to put them in that situation to kind of spring that sort of language on them? Is that okay?
That's such a loaded question, right? I think it depends on so many factors. My initial thought is, well, where else could you spring that on somebody and not in that setting? But I think it depends on who you're with and what they're doing, because, inevitably, you're going to say something that may offend somebody or may make someone feel really uncomfortable. And so I think sometimes you got to test the waters. I think you maybe start with kind of like just some generic like, oh yeah, I love what you're doing to me, and oh, I like that, oh, use me, and just kind of see how they respond,
kind of build up to it.
I don't think you start out with a make me your cum slut, right? Like that's you don't start with that.
You don't start with that.
You don't start with make me your cum slut. That's the quote of the day.
There's the quote of the day.
But I think it's you can push those boundaries, because that's kind of what we did. Like we started with stuff. We didn't start with some of the things that we say now, right? Like we just started with it, and then that after, like, what was that like? Was that okay? Did you like that? And then I usually get the, oh yeah, do it more.
But you know what though? If I were playing with a woman, first of all, I would never.
Oh, we never just start with that. Yeah. Sure.
Well, no, I'm talking about like that. I would never touch a woman's tummy during play.
Oh, yeah.
If I didn't know her very well.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I would like incidentally, like if, she was on her back and I like had my hands there or something, that might be okay. But like, I would never just like
rub
do
on
that
it and do all the things. Yeah.
Because I have no idea how she feels about it. And I do know that many women are very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make her uncomfortable. So what I'm getting at with this is, if you start playing with some guy and you start using this kind of language, if I was the guy, I would like it, but at the same time, I wouldn't, not knowing you, I don't really know what I can say. We haven't talked about this boundaries wise ahead of time. So I'd be a little bit uncomfortable about, I would repeat back to you the things you say, but I wouldn't come up with new stuff.
Right. And maybe the thing to do is like, call me this, call me that.
Well, but maybe they aren't comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
It's a tough thing.
It's
you
tough.
Kind of have to test those waters.
You don't want to make people, because the last thing you want to do is make anybody uncomfortable. But I think it would be fine if in the front, if you were like, is it okay if we do some like really dirty talk?
Yeah.
And they might say yes, they might say no.
Right.
But as always, communication is key.
Well, but I think when you say something like, call me this, and they don't, and they may say something different, that's obviously the cue that I'm not going to say that again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep harping at that, right? Like that's a test, or not a test, but like that's kind of testing the waters there, right? Like do this. And if they do it, then I think that's kind of a nod that you can maybe continue that or bump it up or whatever.
Right. This play is hard to engage in spontaneously.
It is, but I think sometimes that's just the way it happens.
It does happen that way, and we've had this. I mean, when we played at the hotel takeover, the last one we went to, there was a lot of this language. But in that case, it all goes to cues. It all goes to cues, because you and I were using this language between each other,
right? And the third that was involved kind of picked up on it, and he did well.
He carried the ball very well.
He did.
But he definitely took his cues from what we were saying. Yeah. And I feel like that is less putting someone in an awkward situation, because they could either go along with it or not. But if we're doing it, then there's a pretty good chance it's okay if they do.
Well, and I feel like you and I are so verbal.
We are a little more.
I mean, and maybe you and I specifically, I think we're a little bit more, I don't want to say self-conscious, but I don't think we pull out the big guns.
No. What's funny really is that within our people that we often play with,
our orgy group,
we are the chatty ones. Like we're very verbal. We're very verbal. We have been told we're very verbal, and
I don't think anyone's been put off by it by any means.
I hope not.
But usually in those instances, you and I are playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never start that even with someone that I know. I don't know if I would start there.
Right. No, I agree with that.
I may talk to you during, like if I'm playing with someone else.
What's funny about it is, there's this joke that we're so verbal, and yet you haven't seen anything.
If you only knew.
This is like elevator talk.
Listen, if we had
this is veranda talk.
This is veranda talk. Oh yeah, we can get pretty dirty.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's not something that we just started with. We've definitely evolved with it. And we've done some things that maybe have not gone over so well, but you just learn as you go. But it's been a lot of fun exploring it.
Yeah.
And it makes the juices flow.
It really does.
It really does.
It really does.
So say some dirty talk today.
Yeah. Go up to your partner and just call him a whore and see how it goes. Tell him Mr. Snow sent you.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do it like that.
Yeah.
Well, we have a few really interesting episodes coming up, and we're not exactly sure when they'll drop because we're working on putting them together. One in particular is going to be just with the girls.
Yeah, we're trying to scheduling sin, man. Scheduling 3 women in the middle of the day to talk about sex is not as easy as you think it is.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to get all the girls together to have a conversation about male performance issues, the female perspective.
Yes.
So we're excited for that. We also have another episode. It kind of dovetails to this one. We can't get to it today, but it was a listener who called in or wrote in and asked about risky play,
right?
Specifically related to airway play and to some of the stuff we're talking about now with verbal degradation and so forth. But he specifically asked questions about how to do that safely and what's okay, what's not okay, and how to engage in that in a way that is fun and safe for everybody.
Right. But I think a lot of times people have a lot of shame associated with certain kinks that they may have. And so that's kind of it's a big topic. And so I think we're going to try to do that with one of our kink spurts. And so stay tuned for that.
Yep.
That'll be a good episode, I think.
So until next time.
So do we still have we still have time to do lunch or sex, or what are we doing?
I'm hungry.
For what?
Talk to you next time.
Bye, guys. We want to hear from you. Email us at snomilf@yahoo.com. That's SNOMILF@yahoo.com. You can also join us on our Discord and have some fun interactive conversations with us. The link is in the show notes. Talk to you soon.